Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum taste. 5-hour energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. For information, visit 5hourenergy.com. Groove Subaru, on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com. Last game before the Christmas break for the Colorado Avalanche, and tonight they take on the Minnesota Wild for the second time this season. When we look at tonight's starting goaltenders, the breaks stop here, and this is presented by Brakes Plus.
Well, for the Colorado Avalanche, 7-1-1 in their last 9 home games. Craig Anderson back in nets. And Mike, how is this for a list of goaltenders? Carey Price, Jonathan Quick, and now Nicholas Backstrom. Those are the 3 goaltenders in the last 3 home games the Avalanche have faced. They're all good, and for a long time, Backstrom was good as good any goaltender that the Avalanche would play.
Although the last 2 games, Peter, he has given up 11 goals against the Avalanche. In the last 2 games that he has played, the Avalanche, last time they played the Minnesota Wild, scored 7 goals against Minnesota. Most they've ever scored in a game against the Wild. That wasn't that long ago, just about a month ago on November 27th here at the Pepsi Center. Greg Zidlicky has the puck for the Wild, sends it high in the air, and the puck will roll on its edge deep into the Avalanche zone, touched by defenseman Ryan O'Byrne for an icing call on Minnesota.
Well, you know that Joe Sucker was not pleased with this performance last game for his Colorado Avalanche, and like any coach, you can feel these things coming. The Avalanche have not been outstanding early in games. That is the first period of the period they score the fewest goals, and this is a high-scoring hockey club. So you want to come out and really push that pace and take it to Minnesota early in this game.
The face-off, the puck comes out towards center ice. Peter, during the pregame show, we talked about Fleischmann, Gagliardi, and Duchesne as a line combination. They are out right now.
And what you've done, you've moved Gagliardi to that left side, with Fleischmann moving to the right side and Duchesne in the middle. And again, what you're looking at in a situation like this is how does it work? You're looking to see if moving Fleischmann from that left to the right side will take away from his production, how he looks on the ice. So there'll be a lot of looking to see with this line. But Mike, it is a fast, quick hockey line.
Right up the middle, Minnesota. Push the puck to center ice. Gagliardi comes back for the puck. And all 3 players out on the ice, those forwards, Peter, it doesn't mean anything at all. In fact, they're all left-handed shots.
Well, it does and it doesn't. You know, a lot of the best combinations of all time when you're talking about passing left to a right-handed shot. But in this situation, no.
Duchesne fighting for the puck. Tipped back between the defensemen from Minnesota. And at center ice. Shot back in by Brent Burns. Here he is having 9 goals. 11 assists, 20 points this year, 5 power play goals for Burns, and one of the best shots in the entire National Hockey League. And behind the net, puck squirts free away from Kevin Porter, rolls into the near side corner, dug out, Stastny. David Jones, who's been playing on that line with Duchesne and Fleischmann, now on the line with Porter and Stastny. Shot comes wide of the net. Again, no Milan Hajduk for the Avalanche, who's still out with a groin injury. And Cody McLeod still missing, same injury for Cody McLeod.
When talking to the training staff, they're just so close. There's a couple days off now, right around Christmas. The Avalanche, the 24th, 25th, 26th, they don't play. They just don't want to take any chances.
Especially with Detroit coming into town on Monday. You want to be at your best, and hopefully getting some of those injured players back for the game against the Red Wings. Handoff by Yip, and ends up going into the corner in the Colorado zone. Work back behind the net. Yip is able to peel away with the puck. His pass gets it back behind the net. Shattenkirk flips it around, picked up, and moves down to center ice. David Kochi back in the lineup. He was a healthy scratch last game against LA. For 2 consecutive games, the Avalanche went with 7 defensemen. That's different. Jonas Hulas is a scratch tonight, the only healthy scratch the Avalanche have, and David Kochi back in the lineup and playing tonight for Colorado. Pass to center ice, line. Takes the puck in towards the near side corner, back to pick it up. The puck is dropped by Scandella on the near side boards. To Burns, lost the puck momentarily. Shot blocked in front by Burns. He lost the puck, and then O'Reilly ended up with a shot. But Burns hustled to get back in position to block it.
That was a good play by Greg Malden. Malden was the third guy. He was the first player to come back defensively. He saw the turnover, read it, and jumped in for that quick shot.
Puck picked up along the near side by the Wild. Shot around by Spurgeon and behind the net. Worked free. Wild have it. To the side of the net. Brunette, so dangerous around that net. We've seen him make so many plays in an Avalanche uniform and a Minnesota uniform. Around the net, we're right in front. It's into center. Malden chasing the puck. And a squeeze through. He gets tripped. He continues on. Spurgeon has the puck. It's up off the boards. Koivu, handoff. Flipped across. Back out to center. Nico Koivu, ever so dangerous against the Avalanche with 25 points in 35 games against Colorado. Chased to the corner by Chuck Kovacic. Over Flame. Boston Bruin sends the puck over to Burnett. Koivu moves to the side of the net. Sent out in front on a hop. Kept in along the near side by Zidlicki. Back to Koivu. Down the slot. Richter through. And Anderson made the save and then was able to cover the rebound.
Let's look at the play by Greg Malden. Good read on this. O'Reilly's right in on top, and Winnick is right there. And you see Malden, Mike, he's out deep. He sees the turnover, and he's able to react. That was just a terrific one. Defensively, you're in the right spot, and then you jump into the play. And here again is Greg Malden. And I've had more players and more coaches from other clubs say, can that Malden skate? I mean, that is the first thing that they talk about.
Here's a player who can skate. Porter cutting in. Wraparound try. In front, shot blocked. The goaltender Backstrom without a stick as he was going behind the net as Porter circled behind the kid. Let's get the puck back. Pushed into the corner. Stastny comes deep into the corner for the puck and launches it out through center into the circle. Batted across, but took an Avalanche bounce. Stays inside the zone. Then pushed to center ice. Taken and carried through the middle zone by the Wild. Shot misses high and around the glass. Squeezed out to center. Slapped back in from center ice by Jared Spurgeon. Lyles slips one check. Pushes the puck in. Icing's been waved off. Leighton Stoner. Number 4 for the Wild. Cross-ice pass comes deep into the zone. Anderson has to play it, and his stick was knocked out of his hands. Matt Cullen came between the net and the goaltender Anderson and knocked the stick away from him. Play has stopped.
Well, the Avalanche, Mike, we've always talked about good luck charms. Well, for Kevin Porter with 7 goals this season, all coming here at the Pepsi Center, but all 7 have come in wins. So the Avalanche looking for him to get a goal, and that guarantees a victory for the Avalanche. So here's a play right there. Cullen, who signed as a free agent with Minnesota this last summer. He's a big, strong center iceman that can kill penalties, be on the point in the power play. He's got a terrific shot.
Well, we saw a sequence there, Peter, where both goaltenders lost their stick in situations. And that same shift off the draw, the puck comes back towards the point. Holds it in to the corner. Mietnin. On the end boards, kicking at the puck. Squeezed up against the boards by Hunwick. And Duchesne able to get the puck loose for Hunwick. Dropped it back along the end boards. Duchesne sends it up the boards. Got it out to center. Waved back in from center ice by Patrick O'Sullivan. He's picked up on waivers from Carolina earlier this year. Dropped back behind the net. Burns comes back to pick it up. Over 6 minutes played. First period, no score in the game. Only 1 shot on net so far. Make it 2 by Minnesota. To the point, Burns. Shot through a lot of traffic and a tip in front, but the puck sent high. Put back to the point. Shot blocked by Duchesne. The Avalanche second-year centerman flipped the puck ahead. Burns trying to hold up Gagliardi. To the puck. Lyles came in all the way from the blue line. They would try and get that puck off the corner boards. A little help from Greg Malden. And the puck did come free. Malden's got it. Malden shot rising. Goes up high. Around the boards. Was held in far side by Winnick. And behind the net, O'Reilly trying to control the bouncing puck. A little support from Malden. Works his way into the corner. Hand off. Stolen back by Koivu of Minnesota. Sends it around the glass, and Shattenkirk would have been an offside play if he had touched the puck again. It allows Minnesota to bring the puck in, but it's offside on the Wild. Well, not much happening here in this first period. No goals, not many shots either. 0-0.
It's Peony goaltender that the Avalanche would play. Well, 28-year-old Greg Malden, in the last game against these Minnesota Wilds, like he had the best night any Avalanche have had this season. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. When we did the game, I did the game down at ice level. So after the game, I went downstairs. I went to congratulate him, and he was walking back towards the locker room. I said, Greg, I tapped him on the shoulder. It was like touching an electric wire. He was so excited. He was going, I don't know if he was making phone calls, but he turned, he said, oh, thank you, and he was, and then you're looking and you go, can you imagine what was going through his mind? I mean, all those years of being down in the minors, I mean, you don't want to keep saying the same story, but the idea is, the deeper this goes, with him playing consistently now on that third line, that good third line for the Avalanche, with Winnick and O'Reilly, he's here. I mean, he's here now, it seems. And
it's a guy who was all the way down to the United Hockey League, then even went over to Sweden, and he thought, I can't even play here now in North America. I'm going to go over to Sweden. At that point, said, you know what? He said just about gave up.
Yep.
And thank goodness for the Avalanche and for him and his family. He did not. And I think he's an NHLer right now.
And more importantly for him, if he had given up, there always would have been in the back of his mind that question: if I'd been called up, would I have been able to play? And now that answer's there. Yes, absolutely.
Bouchard tearing the puck up the boards, reverses it behind the net, cut off by Hunter. And Havlet behind the net, flagged down, on the backboards, kick free. Al Brodziak. Pass comes across. Bidlicky in the high slot. Far side point. Anderson without a stick again. In fact, Adam Foote's got it in his hands, doesn't he?
Oh, you won't believe what happened. It got wound up in Adam's Foote's glove. And Adam Foote, for a while there, was playing with 2 sticks. And Anderson was trying to grab it, and Foote was trying to let it go.
Well, the sticks have been a little tricky for both goaltenders here in this first period. 11:30 to go. And our first no score in the game. Gagliardi, Duchesne, Fleischman is line put together by coaching staff for tonight's game. Havlet lead pass to center ice, developing into an odd man rush. Thrown across, and O'Sullivan was there, but Shattenkirk came back and helped out for the Avalanche, not allowing O'Sullivan to get that pass. We got a whistle. We're going to have a penalty.
Yeah, Havlet, took a very needless penalty right there. I don't know what he was upset with Duchesne about, but he just slashed at Duchesne as the two of them were sitting right in front.
Minnesota penalty, 24 slash.
Right in front of the referee. Now Duchesne, who is right there. Now you turn. He's obviously something must have happened. When you turn and swack a guy like that, that's going to be called every time. So for the Avalanche now, make a power play. I mean, and again, if you're looking to get something going offensively, here's that opportunity.
And Peter, things have kind of reversed this year for Minnesota in what they used to be. Once they came into the league under Jacques Lemaire, they were always one of the best penalty-killing teams in the league, and maybe not always that great numbers-wise on the power play. Things have changed this year. This is a good power play team, not necessarily a good penalty-killing team, although here's Clutterbuck on a breakaway, save, and then followed up with a shorthanded goal for Minnesota. Matt Cullen gets his second shorthanded goal of the season, and the Avalanche are down 1-0.
And when you watch this, it's one of those ones you're in a desperate mode, but the 2 defensemen go right by the goal on this play. Now, the defensemen are trying to get back. I mean, did Clutterbuck show some speed here, or what? But they both went by, and then boom, there's the guy right there. It's just one of those plays. You're so anxious to try to stop the guy, then you take that one extra stride, the puck goes to Cullen. Cullen's got sort of some interesting numbers, Mike. He's got 1 even strength goal, 4 power play goals, and 2 now even strength goals this season.
And Minnesota takes that 1-0 lead for the Avalanche. The 5th shorthanded goal they have given up this season. But Peter, it's been a while. The Avalanche gave up 4 shorthanded goals in the first 8 games of the season. Haven't given up one since the 8th game of the season till tonight.
They were on some record run there for a while, but then it just dried up.
McCullen from Clutterbuck at 9:23, short-handed goal for Minnesota. 1-0 lead. Still plenty of time on this power play, though, for the Avalanche. Yep, pass over the line. Shot save made by Backstrom. Then the puck came free. The Avalanche have tied it. It's a power play goal. It looked like Backstrom had it, but the Avalanche didn't give up on the play. They kept at it, and now it's a 1-1 hockey game.
But I'm just like kind of watching the referees. They're talking to each other. Does the net come off before? No, it was brilliant. Jones punches this one home on the power play. Nice pass by Yip to Spring Jones coming through the slot area. And Jones with that speed. The defensemen were trying to back up. They couldn't stay with them. And they bang it home before the net came off the moorings. Let's have a little look. Watch the puck on the left side. Comes through. Ooh.
They're going to drop the puck, so yeah, once the puck is dropped, that's it. No more review, no change, if you will.
Yeah, see, you can see Koivu. He's trying to talk them into having a look.
But it is a power play goal. And for David Jones, Peter, this is good for David Jones. He has 11 goals coming into tonight. Now his 12th goal of the season. But he hasn't scored since November 30th against Atlanta.
Yeah, he's gone 10 games without a goal. And you have to remember, though, Stewart, you know, that bittersweet game against the Minnesota Wild, with all the great things happened, they scored 7 goals. Well, that's the game that they lost Stewart. He broke his hand in that game. So it was a big win and a tough loss, injury-wise, for the Avalanche.
Behind the net, shot around the boards, and out towards center ice. O'Byrne chops at the puck. Going to prevent Koivu from coming in. Koivu's going to get a penalty for his retaliation to O'Byrne for holding him up. The late penalty. Wild centers. Grabbed by O'Reilly. Sends it across. Hunwick dips the puck to the corner for Duchesne. Extra skater on. Anderson has gone to the bench. The late penalty on Minnesota. Centering try. Tipped by Minnesota. And the Avalanche are going back on the power play. Well, the last power play was eventful. There was a shorthanded goal from Matt Cullen, then a power play goal for David Jones. Tonight's in the group player is Matt Duchesne, and how he's done since the draft.
And that draft in 2009, where I'll never forget, they took Hedman second to Tampa Bay, and they had a shot of Matt Duchesne, and he was, yes! Because he knew that he was going to be one of the top 3 picks. It was a pretty good controversy who was going to draft who, but he knew he was going to his team, the Avalanche.
Save made by Backstrom as Colorado going on the power play. Jimmy John's now delivering tonight's key to the game.
Michael, this is the only period, the first period, the Avalanche do not have that positive goals for, goals against. You can see coming into tonight, 30 goals scored, now 31-35, -4, +7 in both the second and third period, and plus all the comeback, all the great goals, the big moments in their season. So many have come late in games.
Got a whistle, and the Avalanche Wild tied up at 1. Second power play chance now in this game for the Colorado Avalanche. Last time there was a short-handed goal by Cullen, power play goal from David Jones. 9:23 and 10:08 the time of the goals. And the face-off in the neutral zone comes to Minnesota, and stroked down the ice by Clutterbuck, who was a big part of that short-handed goal for the Minnesota Wild.
And the thing that when you watch that goal by Cullen, assisted by Clutterbuck, I had no idea Clutterbuck could skate like that. You got Lyles and Shattenkirk chasing him, and Lyles can fly.
Cullen coming in, handoff shot up high by Zidlicki. We got to stop and play. The puck was touched with a high stick. Is the reason for the whistle.
As you said, the Minnesota Wild club, they have a couple of big wins. They had a home and home with the Calgary Flames. Remember, I was watching a game in Calgary. They were talking about Calgary was it. This is the most important couple of games of the season. We have to win both. Well, Minnesota just outplayed Calgary, and now the Minnesota Wild sit in 13th spot with 34 points, just 6 points behind Anaheim. But they've only played 32 games, Minnesota. For example, Anaheim's played 38. So they have games in hand against almost all clubs that are ahead of them.
Minnesota's won the last 2. They won 4 of the last 6. By the way, that goal, David Jones, the assist going to Brandon Yip, and Matt Hunwick gets his second assist as a Colorado Avalanche. It's the other assist at 10:08. That tied the game at 1. The Avalanche working again on the power play. 40 seconds left. Ooh, that pass came up high past John Madden. Now down to 30 seconds remaining in Koivu's penalty. In center right, puck is pushed in by Hunwick. And sent right back the other way by Minnesota. Coming back, Lyles for the puck. And almost wrapped around by Miet. Moves the puck around. It's been aggressive penalty killing from the Minnesota Wild. Lyles through the far side circle. Skates to center, pass with line. Malden dropped it. Back towards Malden. Save! And back to him. That's a couple of times now. He's had a shot on net and not been able to cover the rebound. Last time resulted in a power play goal for the Avs. Koivu's out of the penalty box. Power play is done for the Avs. Turnover. Shot by Winnick. Tipped up high. And taken back behind the net by defenseman Greg Zanin. With the puck through center ice. And Avalanche captain Adam Foote coming back. The Avs had 1 shot on net during that last 2-minute power play. Unable to change the score. Remains a 1-1 game. Malden moves the puck into the Minnesota zone. Burns sends it across. Long pass through the neutral zone. Brought in. Bouchard on a pass through, but did not make it. Nice lead pass by Gagliardi for Yip. Backhander save. Rebound shot by Yip goes wide. Back into the corner. Bouchard. And for Minnesota, they are glad to get him back. Oh, what a hit along the boards. Wilson tagging Brodziak, and they're going to drop the gloves. Wilson and Brodziak dropping the gloves. Not much happening, though, in this fight right now as they skate down now. Maybe starting to separate a little bit and see if we get any punches thrown. Brodziak and Wilson still just kind of hanging on to each other's sweaters. A couple of swings by Wilson didn't really connect. Brodziak trying to land a punch himself. Wilson, a couple of jabs, but nothing really landing. Is both getting a little arm weary over there in the corner. The linesmen have seen enough. They're going on, and no punches really landed, so they're going to send both into the respective penalty boxes. Ryan Wilson, Kyle Brodziak. After a big hit by Wilson, dropped the gloves.
Well, Kyle Brodziak couldn't have been involved in a couple of fights here. One the last game against the Avalanche. That's where Stewart broke his left hand. But like, here's that controversy sort of in hockey now. No penalty on that hit. A good hard hit, a hockey hit, and instantly a fight. Now, is that, I mean, you see that around the league almost all the time now. No matter how clean the hit, how solid the hockey part of it is, there's instantly players drop their gloves or players come over and they want to, you know, get even or whatever you do when you fight. And
even though it's illegal,
even though it's a legal hit. And I've heard more people say, oh, that's not how it should be. You know what? These guys play the game now. This is the way they're deciding to even things up. You're going to hit me like that, I'm going to fight you now. It used to be that the guy would wait and he'd look for his time to get the big hit back or whatever. Hey, in today's hockey, these big hits lead automatically to fight. I really don't see why it's such a big deal when guys fight. Brodziak wants to get up and say, Wilson, you're not going to do that again? Well, that's up to him. And Wilson's going to say, you know what, that's not going to stop me. Trust me.
Our game is tied at 1. Short-handed goal by Matt Cullen, 9:23. Power play goal, David Jones at 10:08. 7 shots for the Wild, 6 for the Avalanche. Colorado's had 2 power play chances. Steal by Dupuis in the high slot for Lyles. He shoots, glove save. by Nicholas Backstrom, the Minnesota goaltender. Then it gets a little feisty in front of the net. David Kochi is there for the Colorado Avalanche. And Clayton Stoner, number 4 for Minnesota, involved as well. See if this erupts into anything else. Stoner and Kochi still jawing each other. Looks like that's going to be it. If the Avalanche win tonight, you can stop by your Denver area Subway restaurant tomorrow and get a 6-inch cold cut Cabo or a meatball marinara for just $2. So the Avalanche, Minnesota, second time this year playing, and both games have been here at the Pepsi Center. Avalanche will be going to Minnesota fairly soon, next month. Duchesne, nice win on the draw. Gets it back, scooped down by Vern behind the net. Swung around, Lyles waiting at the far side point. Now the Avalanche in this division game, and now this is a little stretch now for the Avalanche in which they're playing some division games. After they get through Detroit on Monday, back to division games next week in Calgary and Edmonton, then back home against the Vancouver Canucks. So Joe Sacco talked about that this morning. This is the stretch here. He's playing some division games. These are important. Loose puck right there in the crease, and Anderson had to make a save. Back to the point. Zidlicky's drive. Wide bounce and in. What a crazy bounce from the point. Zidlicky shoots it, and I think deliberately shooting it wide of that crowd in front, Peter. And it took a weird bounce and finally ends up going into the net. It's 2-1 Minnesota.
It didn't seem like Craig Anderson ever really regained his balance after he went down to make that initial save. And when the puck went back to Zidlicky, you'll see that he purposely misses the net. He's going wide to the left of the net. And then he got a piece of it first, and then it's just sitting out behind him. You'll see Anderson gets a piece of it. It bounces actually off the goalpost, I believe, right there, down.
That's Matt Cullen, I believe. Yeah. There's number 7, Matt Cullen.
Yeah, Matt Cullen's going to pick up his second of this game.
Second here in the first period. Matt Cullen's been in the right spot twice now this period. Following up Clutterbuck on that short-handed goal. Ball is shot, and Backstrom makes the glove save, and then he was parked right there after came off the boards, hits Anderson in the glove, hits the post, and then drops into the crease.
Right, let's have another look at it, Mike. But you watch watch the price that Cullen pays to score this goal. Watch him come left side of your screen. You're going to get smacked. You're going to get knocked down. But you said he's been in the right place, Mike. But he's been in the scoring area both times. He's been driving. The first one was a layup. It just came right to him in front. But again, driving to the net. He didn't give up on the short-handed play. He was that guy coming in behind. And in that play, I mean, he was sacrificing himself, get knocked down, but he punches the puck home.
Unwin picked up an assist earlier in this period. Put out in front. Jones had it for a moment, unable to pull the trigger. And shot from center ice by Havlet. Around the board, Bouchard. The puck for a moment, cleared out by the Avalanche. Stoner backing up into his own zone. Up ice, Madden. He's won Stanley Cups with Jersey and Chicago. The Minnesota Wild, number 11, shot by Jones, and Madden was coming back. Madden's always had a reputation as a great defensive forward. A Selke Trophy type of player every year through his career. Lyles back to pick up the puck, put up the boards. Zidlicky stole that outlet pass, put it towards the near side, chipped into the corner, bouncing along the backboard. O'Reilly pinned there by Brunette. The puck popped free. Brunette reaching for it, kicking, trying to grab that puck, and finally Brunette came out of that pile. Center shot! Oh boy, Zidlicky with a shot, and Anderson was able to get there to the post and make the save. That was some hard work by Brunette behind the Avalanche cage. Now get big offers on the most awarded Ram truck ever at the Big Finish of 2010. So much truck, so many bragging rights. The Ram Truck Big Finish 2010.
Well, Michael, after tonight's game, the locker rooms are completely closed for 2 days, the 24th and 25th. And, you know, you have to go all the way back to 1971, the last time there were games on Christmas in the NHL.
Burns, wide, shoots. Save made by Anderson. Hitter teams, even if you're playing on the 26th, you're not allowed to even travel on the 25th. The Avalanche, fortunate for them, they don't have to play again until the 27th. So there's no travel that next day. But the Nets have had that case. Got to get up early the next day, 26th. Make that travel if you're the road team. Minnesota will be home on the 20th. No, excuse me. They are playing on the 26th in Edmonton. They've got to go to Edmonton on the 26th.
That's got to be one of the longer flights on that day, I would think. Because not only do you have to, you're losing a time zone, or you're gaining a time zone, but I think you got to go through customs. You got to do all of that stuff.
Madden to the puck, and leading the big hit by Jones, straight up the puck. Behind the net, Stastny rolls into the corner, dropped it back behind the net. Jones has got the puck, run to center, and it blocked. And the tip didn't get up the ice. Lyles keeps it alive, put it behind the net. Porter dropped in the corner. Stastny bump. Porter has the puck, works his way up the board. Stick check, held there and hit by Clutterbuck. Came into the game, league leading 151 hits. Icing called on Minnesota.
Okay, now here's the thing is, can he see numbers? Can he see the numbers on Porter? Absolutely. The numbers are right there. Now, Clutterbuck is a hard hitter, and a lot of his hits are going to be borderline because he makes so many of them. And I'll tell you, a lot of people thought with Scott going, John Scott, and Bugard going to the New York Rangers, maybe Clutterbuck's game was going to change. He didn't have the enforcers with his club. It hasn't changed one bit. And you got to give the kid credit. I mean, he plays tough, he plays mean, and he has people coming at him all night long.
Koivu take the draw against O'Reilly. After the faceoff, O'Reilly goes after the puck. Minnesota with possession to center. Blocked. Take it back, lifted in. The puck flutters deep into the Avalanche zone. 11-8 shot advantage for Minnesota. They lead the game 2-1. Back to center ice. Smacked that. Koivu sends it back into Minnesota zone. And directed into the Colorado end. The last 10 seconds of the first period. Evan Foote will circle behind his own net. He's content just to run that clock down. 5 seconds to go in the period.
3 seconds.
And that'll do it. For Minnesota, they get 2 goals from Matt Cullen, sandwiching a power play goal by David Jones. And the Wild on the road have the lead 2-1.
And as you would expect between these two clubs, they played a lot of close games. A 1-goal game here after the first period.
So again, 2-1 to score. Matt Cullen, the story for Minnesota in the first period. Short-handed goal, even strength goal. David Jones scored a power play goal for the Avalanche. Don't go anywhere. The Toyota Intermission Report is next. O'Reilly against Koivu to start the second period, and it is Minnesota Wild with possession. Through center, the Avalanche had 2 power play chances during the first period. Got a power play goal. Also gave up a short-handed goal. Back to the point. Wild shot through a lot of bodies. Winnick for the ass. Hustling for the puck. Handoff. Lyles shot. Saved by Backstrom. Well, Lyles did a really nice job at jumping up there and getting a scoring chance.
This is that reading the play that John Michael Lyles, since he joined the Avalanche, even in his rookie season, he did this part so well, Mike, where he sees the forward that that's out there covering him, turn his back. The best I ever saw was Sandis Ozolich. Sandis Ozolich jumping in place. But John Michael Lyles does exactly the same thing. He waits for that little opening and then just pucks in behind.
Burns ices the puck. Minnesota another face-off in their zone after it's touched. Kevin Porter came back for the touch for the Avalanche.
John Lyles just having a terrific season for the Avalanche. The thing that I like, you look at the numbers. The numbers have been impressive, Mike, but it's been the consistency of effort, night in, night out, jumping into the play.
Steal behind the net. Centering pass cut off by Burns. Whipped around the boards. Havell could not reel it back in. Burns sends it behind his own net. Popped along for Marco Scandella. Avalanche had it for a moment to center ice. Havell, ever so dangerous. Letting in, waits, turns, shoots. And Anderson slid across and was able to make the save. Cooney Lexus inviting you to the December to Remember sales event. Exceptional values on all Lexus models, including a full line of all-wheel drive sedans. You can lease a new Lexus this holiday season for as low as $309 per month. Trying to face off in the Avalanche zone after Anderson made that save. Banged behind the net. Centered across, but it was tipped by Shattenkirk, who leads all rookie defensemen in scoring this year. Save again by Anderson. Turner comes down from the point from Minnesota. Cullen from the story for the Wild in this game so far with a couple of goals. Avalanche get a bounce. Brought in by Fleischman down the slot is Yip. The shot blocked. Pushed up ice, O'Sullivan. Lead pass at the line onside. A tip by Shattenkirk broke up the chance for Minnesota.
And you see for the Avalanche, they have changed, moved Fleischman back to the left side, Yip on the right side with Duchesne in the middle. Again, lines like the Avalanche used in that first period are just sort of, okay, let's have a look. If it doesn't work, then you go back to something that you feel will work.
That's up by Madden. Will help, and it's tipped out towards center ice by Eric Nystrom, driven back into the Wild zone. A steal, a centering pass, but it caught a skate. Nystrom to center, to the red line. He took a hard hit right there at the red line. In Dupuis, backhander saved by Backstrom. Nystrom really struggled a little bit to get off the ice after that hard hit. That was a tough spot to take the hit. And then the pile of players around the Minnesota net.
Nystrom, Mike, there's that, what do you call it, stanchion right there, whatever they call it, right by the bench, and coach is coming across right here. Mike,
you're hearing the groaning from the crowd. They're showing it on the Jumbotron.
That's right where I stand, and I'm always worried about this kind of play because it just juts out. There's, unless a player is beyond the belief cruel. I've seen it a couple of times. You don't run a guy into the end, into the boards. That's a hard hit that just happened to hit right on that piece of, fortunately it's padded. I remember one night, a teammate of mine, Jimmy Lorenz, Mike, he hit the glass. The glass was coming down, and it cut him wide open. And I think the league now does a real good job of having that padding.
Well, David Coach has gotten a penalty.
I think that this was on the play right in front of the net. Not the hit. Not the hit.
So, power play chance for Minnesota. Cullen peeks around, centered back behind the slot for Zidler. Crosses back to the near side wall for Cullen. He's got 2 goals in the game. Miettinen, side of the net. Brunette back to Miettinen. Shot missed. Backhander score. Andrew Brunette. And it is a 3-1 lead for Minnesota. Peter, they've done it 3 different ways. Shorthanded, even strength, and now the 4th best power play team in the league, the Minnesota Wild, get a power play goal tonight.
Now, I'm not sure Cullen meant to miss the net, but the play worked out exactly the same as Minnesota's second goal, where that puck missed to Anderson's left and then was picked up by a Minnesota player. And, I mean, what great risk right there by Brunette. I mean, that is a play. When it started, I thought, no, it's too far in front of him. But he's got great strength in his forearms and wrists. He just rolls the wrist. And how many times with the Avalanche do we see Brunette do exactly that kind of play, where it's in close and you just chip it up and over?
Peter, we are seeing a change in goal. Craig Anderson is coming out. This is the first time because of what's going on in the game. We've seen Anderson replaced by Budaj, but that was an injury situation earlier this year. But Craig Anderson has been pulled, and Peter Budaj is in net now for the Colorado Avalanche.
Well, you take last game and you take this game, and it is 8 goals over the course of just a little bit more than 4 periods of hockey. So, and again, Mike, goaltenders want to stop them all, but there are just sometimes when things find their way home. They're going to get behind you no matter what you do.
Peter Budaj, he's in. Anderson, he's out. And the last time that we saw Peter Budaj play in the game, Peter, it's been a little while. That was the game in Tampa Bay on December 4th. The last time that he played for the Avalanche.
Yeah, the Avalanche lost that game 6-5. They scored 2 goals, though, if you remember, with the goaltender pulled.
Leishman, handoff. Yep, threw it out in front, broken up. Bouchard streaking through center. Is going to wait for a little help. Gets the handoff to Havlet. Circles behind the net. So it's goaltender in, and well, in the old days you used to get the warm-up, but now you come in net, come in cold and off the bench, and you have to play. They used to be, they would take shots, warm them up, but that was starting to be abused, and what their coaches were using it just sort of delayed the game or slow things down.
Like a timeout. You're buying some time to slow the game down. But I've asked Peter Budaj about these situations, and he said it's all mental right now. I mean, you can't say, oh, boy, I could use a couple shots. Well, that's the last thing you want. You just have to be ready for whatever coming.
Right now, the Minnesota Wild in the Avalanche zone that has been around Budaj, hasn't really been tested yet to the point. Shot wide of the net. And again, we see Minnesota shooting the puck wide. Well, they've had a couple of times in this game where they've shot the puck wide of the net, come off the board, and the Avalanche haven't seen the puck go in and get scored on. Centering try by Nystrom gets blocked. The net had been moved, so that's the reason that the whistle's been blown. Don't miss your chance to see the upcoming showdown between the Avalanche and their arch rival Detroit Red Wings here at the Pepsi Center on Monday night. Nothing like an Avalanche Red Wing game, and if you'd like to see the game in person, you get your tickets by calling 303-53-HORSE.
Well, for the Avalanche, this is game 3. Game 4 of that 5-game homestand. It's sort of interesting. 5 at home, 2 in a row, 5 at home, 2 in a row, and then 5 more at home for the Avalanche. And they do catch one break in that game against Detroit. Detroit plays the night before on the 26th against Minnesota.
Backhanded out to center ice, knocked down, flipped across, brought in over the line. In the slot, the shot blocked by Shattenkirk. And the Avalanche so far done a good job. Peter Budaj comes in to replace Anderson. Budaj, the Minnesota Wild are pushing the play, getting the Avalanche zone. Budaj really hasn't had to face shots until there. He did. He makes the save. Puck is brought out towards center. Long pass to hit. Hip check. Sandin backhanded the puck up. Didn't get it out. Gagliardi plays the puck to the corner for Dupuis. Pass across, deflected. Adam Foote had come in from the point. Around the boards, Gagliardi with the puck. Around behind the net, Dupuis, Duchesne, Gagliardi out for Colorado. To the point for Hunley. The shot blocked. Flip out to center ice.
And much like the LA game, we're not seeing that speed through the neutral zone. That is sort of a trademark of the Avalanche. So clubs that the Avalanche played very aware of what the Avalanche are doing well, and the Avalanche just got to keep going, pass the puck wide, keep using their speed.
Winnick's pass, intended for Malden, goes wide to the corner. O'Reilly, handoff, Malden. Centering pass high in the slot. O'Byrne shot off a skate. The Avalanche are winning the race to the puck. Bouncing the side of the nets, and Backstrom able to cover and get a whistle. Andrew Brunette with the Wild on the power play. Scores his 7th goal of the season. 3-1 lead for the Minnesota Wild over the Avalanche in the second period. Tonight's poll being brought to you by the Colorado Lottery in the Millionaire Raffle Drawing. What's your favorite reindeer?
They don't have my favorite reindeer.
Who would that be?
Olive.
Olive?
Yeah, Olive, the other reindeer. She was the other reindeer.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
You still have to play, yeah.
3-1 lead for the Minnesota Wild. 15-13 shot advantage for Minnesota. Teams have had a power play goal tonight. up ice. Through the middle zone, off the glass. Back the other way in a hop. Fleischman had a poke check, but it's followed by Duchesne. He shoots, had it blocked. Grabbed and racing out to center is Havlat. Pushed it on for Bouchard. Dropped it back. Havlat. Shot saved by Budaj. Back in the corner. Centering try by Havlat. Blocked. So Budaj with his first real test since coming in. And he was there to make the save on Havlat.
You can see the Avalanche, Mike pushing the play. That was a 4-on-2 break for the Minnesota Wild.
Long pass to center. Madden flipped it on. Nystrom coming around. He's behind the net. Reaching the corner. Wilson on him. Played back to the point. Hard. Snapshot from the far side by Burns. Avalanche counter the other direction on a hop. Wilson gains the line. Hard shot. Tipped. Oh, and waved that, but on a bounce. They got away from David Jones. He had a good chance with an opening there. The puck just took a little hop on him. Foot from behind the net. Puts it up. Sending it down to the Minnesota zone in a race. It's Porter will get there first. Trying to center. Blocked by the end. Porter got his back. Stastny in front. And Jones crashed to the front of the net. Good looking. Moves the puck behind the net. Zanin up the ice. Getting the red line. Into the Colorado zone. Surrounded, but gets the wrister off. Lyles takes the puck off the backboards. Backhands it around. Zanin will shoot it across. And through the middle. From the penalty boxes. Sullivan tap it back towards Clayton Stoner, defenseman for Minnesota. Lobbed in. Fleischman had it for a moment. Worked free. Koivu for the Wild. Throws back, trying to get away from Philippe Dupuis. Moved back behind the net. There's a stick down the ice. Almost broke up the play. Got by Stoner. Blocked. Tipped in front by Brunette. It's Fleischman who is without the stick for the Avalanche.
I think it's actually a Burns stick that Fleischman gave his stick to a Burn. One of those situations, those crazy moments in a game for a defenseman. While Burns a right-handed shot, he's got a left-handed stick.
Ball in, shot, glove save by Backstrom. And he holds on to stop the action.
No, for David Jones, as we mentioned, just broke out of a slump there in the first period. Not a slump, but a streak with, you know, Elko just about bangs that one in. He had a goal in the first period and a couple of real good chances here in this second period. And again, Jones, that's his most dangerous area as far as scoring. He's got good hands down in the scoring area. And then, Mike, on the next phase, speed off the wall. And he has got that good snapshot.
O'Reilly set to take the face-off against Bronziak, who gets tossed. That's Bouchard. O'Reilly wins the draw and has the puck himself. He shoots. And a block. Bronziak knocked down by Winnick. Gets back up. Chops at it. Did not get it out. To the corner for Winnick. Protects the puck well. Go off the boards. Back to the point for Wilson. Slides it across for Shattenkirk. He shoots. It got through, but tipped away by Baxter. Rolled up the boards. Tipped and out to center ice. 10:30 to go. Almost halfway through regulation. 3-1 lead for Minnesota. Cullen with 2 goals. Brunette with the other. David Jones has scored for the Avalanche with a power play goal. 10:08 marked in the first period. Havlat, stick held his way down the slot. Shot, and it floats up high. Taken back out to center ice by Mullen of the Avalanche. Skates in. Takes the puck himself to the corner. 10 minutes to go. Second period. 2-goal lead for Minnesota. Turnover. Winnick turn, shoots, save made by Backstrom. And he holds on. Minnesota leads the game 3-1 in the second period in Denver. Time for What's on Tap. This is presented by Coors Lights. Please join us again Monday night. The Avalanche are hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Complete coverage begins 6:30 here on Altitude.
Well, the Avalanche, because of injuries, are not going to feel sorry for anyone, but Detroit did lose Pavel Datsyuk last night, 4 to 6 weeks with the broken hand wrist. So they will be missing one of the best in the game in Datsyuk for a while.
Detroit is playing tonight. They do play on the 26th. First time they Denver, the Avalanche after tonight. Not playing again until that Monday night game we just told you against Detroit. Shot wide of the net by Madden. Jasper pass behind for Lyles. Snaps it around the boards. Trying to dig it out for Minnesota. The Avalanche players come over. Goes back to Madden. Wound up. He shoots. Headed blocks. Tip. And poked out in the center. Clutterbuck shoots it across the room. Shattenkirk will come back to get it for the Avs. Sends it across for Lyles. Up ice. Fleischmann. Drop pass. Back to Lyles. Down low. Shot save. Loose puck. Picked up by Cullen. You see Gagliardi, Duchesne, and Fleischmann, that line back together too. Going over the line. By Miettinen. He turns. He shoots. Deflected wide. Wait a minute. We got a whistle.
Penalty on the Avalanche, Mike.
And it'll be their second penalty here in this period.
Gets to be too many men, I believe, Michael.
Too many men on the ice.
Last time Minnesota, Peter, had the power play, they scored. Point earlier, trying to say in the game, it's amazing how things have changed for Minnesota. They used to be known as just one of the best penalty-killing teams in the league. Now, this year, at least stat-wise, they're much better on the power play than they are on the penalty killing. They're second best in the league on the road.
And really, the power play offensively has been keeping them afloat in a lot of games.
Pass bounce back towards Cullen. Fights off Stastny. Aggressive penalty killing for the Avalanche, and they end up with the puck. Going over the line by Wilson. Broken up. Pulled back out in the center, but the Avalanche get a hold. Shot back in around the boards. Too many men on the ice. Penalty. Second power play chance here in the second period for Minnesota. Burnett scored his fourth power play goal of the season. Give the Minnesota Wild the 3-1 lead last power play chance. Hard shot by Boone. Well, that has to sting. I mean, it just looks like a heavy shot, doesn't it?
You would think so, but O'Reilly, it looked like a ping pong ball had jumped off his leg.
Avalanche carries the puck in. Boy, the Avs just greeted him. A couple of players right there at the line. Swung out in the center. He's trying to come back and get it. Let's continue to be aggressive. Pushes up ice. Carried in by Clutterbuck. Coming in off wing. Nice move. Backhand try. And Budaj covers. Stops the play. This Christmas, purchase any chainsaw from Steel and you get a carrying case and an extra chain for only $39.99. It's offer good through January 2nd. Steel, the #1 selling brand of chainsaws worldwide.
No, Adam Foote went after Clutterbuck a little bit. Now, Mike, wouldn't you know it, they're lining up right beside each other again.
They're really pushing on each other after that puck went into the corner. Separated, the puck is shot down the ice by the Avs.
Yeah, that's amazing. Guys like Adam Foote picked up so many tricks over there. He just pulled the leg a little bit. The guy's legs just like bowed out like a deer.
Evelyn feathers the pass through. Then back, shots, and off the arm of Budaj. Evelyn dropped it back into the corner. 3-1 Minnesota. They continue to work on the power play. Only 2 seconds remaining. The Avs penalty. Too many men on the ice, being served by Kevin Porter. Run around and bouncing behind the net. Havlet sends it to the far wing, and the Avs are able to clear. And then Clutterbuck challenged by Adam Foote. The linesmen are trying to separate the two and keep the play going. Minnesota taking advantage of that. They come into the zone. They just continued on. And some players occupied, lost away in front of the Minnesota bench. Porter coming in, shot, tipped by Burns up into the screen, and out of play.
Well, Adam Foote is not going to be pleased when he sees what happened here, because Havlet, when he's tied up with Clutterbuck right here, watch what Havlet does. Clutterbuck comes across and does what he does, and then Foote comes across, and Havlet, at the end of this, what's going on? Pushes Foote, gives him a little shot in the back of the leg, knocked him down. And again,
these teams will play 4 more times this season.
Well, that's all part of the gamemanship. You know, you're out there to protect your players. Adam Foote isn't on Havlet's team.
Puck trickles the center. Nystrom. Pass over the line. Long shot saved by Budaj. He pulled the puck back underneath him. get a face-off in the Colorado zone.
So interesting talking to Peter Budaj. I don't, you know, goaltenders have such interesting minds because they're watching the game come at them. I mean, that's how they see a hockey game. Talk to them about a game, a player, a goaltender, how a guy shoots the puck. And he always has a very interesting opinion. Sometimes I don't understand exactly, you know, just because he sees it from a goaltender, like, this is where the key point was. I go, really? I mean, from my aspect as a shooter, for him it's the guy that's being shot at.
Burn for the Avalanche, 6:10 to go, second period. We had 3 goals scored in the first period, 2 of them by Minnesota, 1 goal scored in the second period. That was scored by the Wild as well. They lead the game 3-1. O'Byrne walks in, he shoots, and a pinball across. Kovacic makes the pass to center for Koivu. Back, Kovacic off the edge. Avalanche get the puck, and it's lifted out through center.
Well, Minnesota has this game right now wound down to a very quiet pace. And, you know, we've been watching the Avalanche all season long, and last year, speed is the name of their game. So, that, you know, it's a game that Minnesota very comfortable with.
Hard shot, and the save made by Peter Budaj. We have some sad news to pass along to not just Avalanche fans, but the hockey world. And you can see Elizabeth Turgeon, daughter of Pierre Turgeon, former Avalanche player, died in a car accident last night. And our condolences, of course, to the Turgeon family.
Yeah, Michael, you speak words well. I'm just an old hockey jock. This is impossible. Impossible to talk about for Pierre.
It is a 3-1 lead for the Minnesota Wild with a face-off in the Avalanche zone. 5:30 to go in the second period. The Avalanche get to the puck right after the draw. And Shatker, long pass through center for the other defenseman, Ryan Wilson, centered it across. It was tipped wide. Backhanded out towards center ice. Shatker feeds it again to Wilson, driven in.
Good rush by the Avalanche. Again, speed and back. They did have that defenseman jumping up into the play. Good read by Wilson.
Smacked around. Wilson waiting far side. Gets a shot to the front. Backhand. Oh, what a save by Backstrom. Glove save. His best save of the game.
For Paul Stastny, I mean, he does everything right. A great job of getting the puck, controlling it, doing almost a complete spin around and just throws it on net. Backstrom found it somehow with the glove hand. Best save of the game.
On the draw, back to the point for Foot. Shoots wide of the Minnesota net. Now we're under 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Pass up ice. Niceman. Over the line. Got a man going down the slot. Met him with the drop. And the shot to save by Budaj. Right back to the far side. Defenseman Greg Zanin. Down the boards. Niceman in the slot. Shot. It's tipped. And it's up into the screen. Out to play. That was Cal Clutterbuck. 9 goals this season, tied for the team lead.
And we saw one of the reasons why he has 9 goals, Mike, just to speak. You know, he is a player, and it shows you, again, another reason why he's able to get so many hits. He's got the great skating ability, and he's able to close that distance so quickly.
I heard Joe Sacco talk about him this morning. It's not just necessarily about just hitting. You could really, maybe you could define the term, he finishes hits. What does that mean more so than just having a hit?
He doesn't graze by you. What he's going to do once he decides to hit, that's the only thing he's worried about. And sometimes it's 1,001 or so, and then he hits you. But once he has you, he's not looking behind or to the side or even necessarily for the puck. It's all about physical play. And Clutterbuck, nice little move. I mean, these are the things that he has worked on. He is not a big guy. Trust me, he is 5'10", but he's 200 pounds. There's a great shot. Now that's the follow-through right there. Good play on Gagliardi here. This is his assist on Cullen's goal, a short-handed goal. But again, Mike, it's just how he's expanded his game to include the idea that right now he's leading Minnesota in goals with Burns. But I can tell you right now, he's not the most popular guy anywhere. You know, you're going to hit like that, you're not going to have a whole bunch of guys send you a Christmas card.
He and the Dustin Browns of the world. The Avalanche, Now 2 games in a row have faced 2 of the better hitters in the National Hockey League. Dustin Brown for LA and Cal Clutterbuck for this Minnesota Wild team that's leading the game. Lyles, nifty play, just sent it then across. Weissman after it, and the center. Bad hit blocked. Stoner lifts the puck to center. Roll down the ice. Icing is waved off. Lyles takes a hit. He plays the puck back up the boards. Both players that collided in that Lyles hit. The other players, Kobasu, I think, and both were slow getting up. Duchesne chasing the puck. Comes out to center ice. Picked up. 2-on-1 happening. O'Byrne coming back. In the slots, the pass comes across. Defenseman Mandela jumped up. Through the middle. Madden takes the long pass. Coming in. Centering try. Cross for Eric Nystrom. Back around behind the net. Clutterbuck chasing. Turn back in between the circles, up off the boards, down to center ice. Avalanche had it. Brandon Yip across for O'Byrne. Backhands it towards the Minnesota zone, but it's ruled to be an offside play. And give the gift of Avalanche hockey this holiday season. 4 great games, an Avalanche scarf, and your choice of an autographed Chris Stewart, John Michael Lyles, or Matt Duchesne puck, starting at $89 per seat.
Well, John Michael Lyles on this, it looks sort of innocent, but when Lyles went down right here, he got up very slowly when this play was over. It took him a long time. I don't see. Well, maybe he fell into that boards and Kobasu was coming across. Remember,
Jones coming in. Jones cuts in, backhanded save by Backstrom. Porter lost the puck. Pass to center ice for O'Sullivan. Shoot it ahead, he does. Run around the boards. Porter moving quickly into the zone. Pass. Shot. And it was tipped, I believe. Again, David Jones going to the front of the net. He's having himself a good game. At least getting some chances. Got a power play goal. And he's been getting some scoring chances tonight. The puck has gone out of play.
Let's have a look at David Jones in the night that he's had for the Avalanche here. Just misses on that. Here he's again driving towards the front of the net. Here's that little David Jones moves where he's just so quick and so fast coming through that scoring zone. Here's the goal that he scored in the first period. So Jones with Stastny tonight has been the Avalanche's best forward.
Well, Joe Sacco was quoted in the paper saying about David Jones. He's got speed, he's got size, he can score, but he's got to use it. Yes, he's got to put all that together.
I mean, it's that old story. It's only an asset if you use it.
Kept in, Hunwick. Shot tipped on goal. Loose puck. Taken by Minnesota. Hamlet to center. Threaded through the legs of Hunwick. Didn't make it. Driven in with 1:40 to go in the second period. Long pass up ice. Wide. Tip behind. Burns with O'Reilly on him. Flipped it near side. Mandela. Center ice. The red line. And a steal. O'Reilly got the puck back. And the Avs come flying in. The shot tipped to the corner. Winning. Held there. Gets free. Pass. And a good one to Lyle. Shot. Looking for a tip in front. The puck comes to the near side boards. Winnick has got it. He shoots. And it's underneath the goaltender. Backstrom was flat on his back as he makes that save and holds the puck.
Well, Jones has had a good night, but this line of O'Reilly, Winnick, and Malden has been the Avalanche's best offensively, as they have just they pursue the puck well. They're on the puck. Anytime it's in the offensive zone, they're right on it. They move towards the front of the net. They don't necessarily make a lot of fancy plays. Winnick is very good with the puck, but they keep moving it and they keep driving it towards the net.
Puck played to the corner, and then O'Reilly, Winnick, Malden line still out there for the Avalanche. Let's get to the puck. Winnick is tenacious. Lifted away by Zen and out to center. Lyles cut it off, skipped it back in. And here comes Malden, O'Reilly again, and Malden freed up the puck, centered it across. Madden trying to clear and does get it out of the zone. Like Greg Malden, with that speed, he just makes things happen out there. Kovacic shoots the puck in. 30 seconds left in the period. Burns, long pass right on the tape. Jones shot, slowed up. Burns trying to hold it off Stastny. Battle for the puck along the end boards, kicks into the corner. Clutterbuck pinned there by Porter. Comes away with the puck. Handoff, flipped out to center ice. Avalanche Adam Foote right back into the zone. The last 10 seconds of the period. Moves the puck to the corner behind the net. Porter, 4 seconds to go. 3 seconds. The pass blocked. And that's the end of the period. We had 1 goal scored during the second period. A power play goal from former Av Andrew Brunette.
But the Avalanche starting to come on later in that second period. The Avalanche now need one of their strong third periods to get themselves back in this game.
We've seen those lately. Can the Avalanche do it again? Perhaps another comeback? Right now, Minnesota has the game. They are leading 3-1. 2 goals from Matt Cullen and a goal from Andrew Brunette. Stay tuned for the Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Your local Mazda dealers. Visit a showroom and test drive the smarter, more efficient 2010 CX-9. Excel Energy, responsible by nature. And by GMC. We are professional grade. Minnesota Wild have a 3-1 lead as we're about to start the third period of play at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. The last game before the Christmas break for the National Hockey League. Up for the Avalanche, although down 3-1, they gave up a power play goal in that second period to fall behind by 2. We did see some push from the Avalanche near the end of the second period.
Yeah, in that part of the game, in the second period, that the Avalanche started to skate, started to move. A lot of people in front of the net. You know, and John Michael Lyles jumping up into the play. We saw Wilson jumping up into the play. Those are the trademarks of the Avalanche. Speed, good work down low. They're a very good team, Mike, with their quickness in from the board back to the front of the goaltender. And on the last plays here, you can see the Avalanche. Lyles coming in right at that, just at the end of that play. And that's what the Avalanche need to do here in this third period.
David Jones has the 1 goal for the Avalanche in tonight's game. Peter Budaj will face Nicholas Backstrom, the Minnesota goaltender, as we go into the third period. Budaj came in early in the second period. Second time this season that Budaj replaced Craig Anderson in the game. It happened before on November 24th in Vancouver, but that was an injury situation following the first period of play against the Canucks in that contest. Here tonight, after the third goal, scored by Minnesota, Sacco made the goaltending change. Behind the net, Zanuck, the puck. Pulled down by Winnick, who will get a penalty. Minnesota will have their 3rd consecutive power play opportunity in this game.
Well, Winnick is arguing right now because he's going to say, hey, wait a minute, I was pulled down, so if I'm getting a penalty, shouldn't the other guy? But for the Avalanche now, Mike, you got to have a penalty kill. You cannot fall. 3 goals down. Backstrom is on his game tonight. Here's the play right here. Winnick thought he was chopped down. It's surprising, Mike, isn't it? That referee has the final say every time.
Haven't seen him change his mind yet. For the point, Zillicki. Blocked by Stastny. There's that kind of penalty kill the Avalanche need. Good work for Stastny, who was out. The forward along with Dupuis. The defense, Matt Hunwick and Adam Foote. Last time the Wild had the power play, Peter, we saw a really aggressive penalty kill from the Avalanche. And Minnesota didn't get much going on their last power play opportunity. First time, though, they did get a goal from Andrew Brunette. Shot from the points, and that banged off a body, goes wide. And back around and back into the Minnesota zone. Covered by Backstrom. He is forced with that pressure from the Avalanche. Greg Malden to have to hold the puck for a faceoff.
Doesn't seem like a big play, but it's a big play. In the sense, now the faceoff is down deep in Minnesota's end. Instead of that quick turn and up you come, you look at the Minnesota Wild, the 9th best since December 9th in the National Hockey, the best in the NHL. December 9th.
Center, the red line. Jones closed the gap in a hurry, but the puck is pounded away, and Havlicek will curl back into the Minnesota zone. Second game of the year between these two. 7-4 win for the Avalanche last time they played. Third in and back in around by O'Sullivan. Again, the Avalanche keeping the Minnesota Wild around on the perimeter. Not really getting to go into the Avalanche zone and get anything set up. O'Reilly fights off Clutterbuck, and O'Sullivan makes the pass back. So far, so good on this penalty kill for Colorado. Pass up ice for Dupuis. Got a man down the slots, but it was ruled to be offside. Face-off coming in the neutral zone. This is your chance to win tickets to an Avalanche game. Compliments of Xcel Energy. Get your power meter number and visit altitude.tv. Click on the Xcel Energy icon for energy saving tips and win tickets to an upcoming game. I'm going to put the face-off at center ice. Zidlicki. Pressure from Dupuis. Lost the puck to Dupuis. Then Stastny picked it up, but Cullen got it back. Pushed it up the boards. Minnesota trying to move out to center ice. Pointer at the red line. Hammered in. 15 seconds left in the penalty on Winnick. And Dupuis clears the zone. Right. Avalanche have done exactly what they want to do on this penalty goal.
We'll see if they build any momentum off of killing this penalty. Great penalty kill. They were aggressive, and now on the bench, you know, they were saying, okay, let's get going now. You got 17 and a half minutes.
Not a single shot on that 2-minute power play from Minnesota. Slammed around the boards. Nystrom trying to hold the puck in. He does. He turns. He shoots. He got through, but taken away by Lyles. Now the Avalanche are coming on. Fleischmann, as he got to the line, hit by Kovacic. The puck flicked back to the Minnesota blue line. Out of the red line and shot around by defenseman Storm. Kicked at. And behind the Avalanche net, grabbed by Shattenkirk. And puts the puck to the corner for Lyles. Lyles and Shattenkirk out together. Duchesne puts back to pick up the puck.
With Duchesne and Fleischmann, so they're going with an offensive group of 5.
Yep is the other player on the ice for the Avalanche. Shattenkirk off the boards. The Avs try to take that penalty kill. They get a little momentum going offensively. Havlicek. Pass was off the stick of Bouchard, back to center ice. Yep, will drive it in towards Backstrom. Got time to make the handoff. And the Minnesota defenseman, Marcos Candela, up the boards. Porter got it back. Avalanche with a puck shot by Stastny. Off of the goaltender Backstrom. Right into the corner. Wozniak to center. Flip through center ice. Back into the Colorado end. Well, we've seen 4 minutes of play in the third period. There's a 3-1 lead for Minnesota. David Jones having a good game. Dropped in the corner for Porter. Into the slot. Stastny played it back to the point. Wilson slides it across to O'Byrne. His shot. Picked up by Porter for the Avs. He turns, he shoots, blocks. Porter back to the point. O'Byrne's shot slowed up by Brunette. Punched ahead, but not out of the zone. Avalanche staying on it, keeping it alive. And Backstrom's seen enough. He wants a face-off in the Minnesota zone.
Well, let's see if this kind of momentum keeps going for the Avalanche. The defensemen are staying in the zone. They've been aggressive as far as pinching and keeping that puck down low. There's O'Byrne on that play, right down in behind. And now the Avalanche, Mike, starting to get a few more opportunities. The Stastny trying to go top shelf on Backstrom.
Face-off puts the puck into the corner. Up ice. Down into the Avalanche zone. Got around the glass. Cullen cut it off in the half period. He had 2 goals in the first period. Avalanche to center. Nice pass. Fleischmann gets it over the line. His pass deflected though. Pushed up ice. Getting it. Trying to get away from Hunwick. Gets a shot. Levi able to make the easy glove save. Drops it off the foot. Play continues on for the Avalanche. 5 minutes gone in the third. Slice off of Fleischman. Down behind the net. Burns right up the middle. Clutterbuck backhands it through. Nystrom. Shoot the puck in. Tip to the corner. Thrown out in front. And Nystrom didn't get to the puck in time. Scandella. And hit. Crushed in the corner. There is an injured Avalanche player. And that is Greg Malden.
And it's Malden who went in hard. The defenseman from Minnesota, Mike, had turned and would look like he was in a real awkward position. Scandella right there, and his helmet popped off. Your immediate concern was for him, and then...
And you look and you see face down on the ice is Greg Malden of the Avalanche.
Now watch number 20 come so fast. Right there. He seemed to go, Mike, to plant his face right into the glass. Is that what happened on the play? Now watch his face.
He sure did, Peter.
He tripped up and over. Scandella went down. Scandella felt pressure, was trying to turn, sort of lost his balance. Got the visor on, and it looks like it went. There's Matt Sokolowski, who does. Boy, I'll tell you, we talk about the players, but what a great job Scott Woodward and Matt Sokolowski do. With, as far as the injuries for the Avalanche players. Well, hopefully. Just going to be a hockey injury in the sense that he is cut and hopefully be back before this game is over. I believe it was Jason Smith of Edmonton at the time. It's still one of my favorite moments. He got cut. The doctor came to the bench. He turned around to the bench. The doctor stitched up his lip on the bench as the game was going on. And then he turned and went back and missed a shift.
That is tough. There's Todd Richards, head coach for the Minnesota Wild. And controlled by the Wild after the faceoff. And didn't get it through. Back in by the Avs. Madden sends it back behind him. And defenseman Greg Zanin. Idlicky. Center. Trying to crowd things in the neutral zone. The icing called on Minnesota. Well, the Avs really clogged things up, forced Minnesota to ice the puck.
Well, you look at wins versus the Avalanche, and Minnesota right there with Vancouver, Anaheim. Anaheim has always been tough for the Avalanche. The other clubs are all in their conference, so you're going to play them more times. But Anaheim is that club that always seems to play well against the Avs.
This Minnesota team, in the last 9 games here at the Pepsi Center, 6-1-2.
Yep.
The last time the Avs played,
that's the win here.
Yeah, they won big. The most goals they've scored against Minnesota ever, which was 7. That 7-4 victory. One more third period play when we return with Minnesota leading by 2 in the third. Minnesota leads the game by 2 in the third period. And here are the results from tonight's Colorado Lottery poll found at altitude.tv. It's a little closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought Rudolph was going to run away with it.
Sure.
It's just the idea that he gets all the glory.
He gets all the press.
Front man, he gets all the press. But you see Vixen and Blitzen says maybe a little something about our audience here.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Stastny has the puck. The reserve player with just a shade under 14 minutes remaining in the third period. Bouncer to center ice, dragged in, brought down the slot, backhander, saved by Budaj on Havlik. Havlik comes up with a puck again to the point. Bannon shot, tipped wide into the corner. Off the board, Zidlicki to the point. Bouchard, wide, shoots, slowed up, taking the out to center ice. 2-on-1 happening for the Avalanche. Jones coming in, the pass, the tip, the save. All right, Backstrom. Back around the boards. Meanwhile, there was something happening back in the Avalanche zone. Peter, you had pointed out earlier that Foote would not be happy with what Havlat had done to him. And we just saw just a moment ago. Adam Foote and Martin Havlat were going at it.
No one's ever said that Adam Foote doesn't have a long memory.
Stastny in the slot. Shattenkirk as his shot blocked. Well, the Avs are all over Minnesota right now. Lyles and his shot blocked. Havlat will pass out to center. Minnesota wants to make a change. They get some new bodies on the ice. Fleischman's shot tipped wide. Dupuis, checked by Koivu. They really go at it and roll on the far boards. Avalanche again with a puck. Fleischman in the slot. Taken away by the Wild. Pushed to center ice. Deep enough for icing. It's been waved off. No icing. 12:20 to go in the third. 3-1 Minnesota. Pass up ice. Quarter. They have to keep coming. Spurgeon from behind the net, trying to reverse, lost the puck, centered in front, tipped away. Back up the boards, Avalanche keeping the puck in the Minnesota zone. That third period that we have seen from the Avs lately, where they start getting their legs going, really starting to push. Burnett's pass, poke check away. Porter though can't take the puck. It would have been an offside play. Drop down the ice, no icing. Avalanche on the move again. It is defenseman Ryan Wilson carrying the puck, forced back. And off goes to O'Byrne. I'm going to say Wilson with O'Byrne. So saw some changes in terms of the lines, the forwards. A little bit of changing going on here with the defensemen as well and their pairings. Offside. Avalanche. 11:23 to go in the third. 3-1 to Minnesota.
Well, one of the better rushes for the Avalanche, again, just using their speed. Right there, you see Jones, who, as we talked about in that second period, is just having a terrific game for the Avalanche. Stastny driving to the net. And Jones just that little aerial. Like you can see it early. Backstrom, after that first goal by Jones, just settled down and has been on top of his game.
After the offside play for the Avalanche, O'Reilly's tossed out. Winnick will take the draw. He's pulled back into the Wild end. Play near side for Burns. Up ice. Getting into center. Down the boards. Shattenkirk though has got the angle. Moves the puck around the end boards in the Avalanche zone. Hunwick on the move. Yep, pass. Flag down. Coming back is O'Sullivan. Flag it down and lets the puck back into the Avalanche end. Hunwick, handoff, Shattenkirk. It's the pass across for Winnick. Back to Shattenkirk. Drop pass for Yip. Blocked. Batted up the boards. Sent down the ice. Could be icing if it's got enough momentum. No icing. Madden for Minnesota chasing the puck. The Lions will get their first for Colorado. Move it around the boards. It out the center. Didn't look his pass, and it's scooped by Nystrom into the Colorado zone. Lyles after it, Clutterbuck right on him. Steal. Fake. Shot by Brodziak, and a big save by Budaj, and he's able to cover. Well, Brodziak made a really nice play. Faked the big shot, walked around, walked in, but Budaj, huge save for the Avs.
There's Clutterbuck again doing what he does so well, forcing the play, and then Budaj, who's been sharp since he came in for the Avalanche. Good square, solid save by Peter Budaj. There's some pushing and shoving around, and woo,
that puck dropped down back behind him. He was able to get to it. And there once again, Adam Foote and Martin Havlat. This goes back earlier in the game, Peter. What had happened?
What happened? Well, it's one of those plays. Foote's tied up with Clutterbuck, and all of a sudden you see Foote right there, and it's an old trick, but you chip the back of a guy's leg, like Havlat did. A foot falls forward, the other guy has the instant advantage. Remember? Well, never mind.
on the draw. Back towards the point, Zidlicki flips it across. Baseball batted around by Havlet for Bouchard. Pass missed. Back around Zidlicki. In behind the net. Minnesota has the puck in the end zone. Brodziak put it behind the net. Centering try at the back of the net. Ricocheted over to Bouchard to the point from Zanin. Back down the boards. Havlet, block point. One-timer missed. Bouncing puck. Back towards the near points. Kept in, it is. Behind the net for Bouchard, trying to come out of the corner. Up the board for Havlet. Stripped the puck. Blunt to center by Porter of the Avalanche. Drills it in. Jones uses his speed to get to the puck. It's in the corner. Zidlicki on him. Freed up. The shot. Blocked. And the rebound all the way out into the neutral zone. And a foot will come right back in. Dropped it for Stastik. Pass to the front. Blocked by the goaltender. Shot blocks again. Off the near boards. Lyle steps around. He centers. Deflected into the corner. Race for the puck. Foot against Brunette. Two old friends. One for the puck. Back to the high slot. Pass. Foot. Tipped on goal. Save. The rebound is underneath the goaltender Backstrom. Boy, the Avs did everything they could to try to push that puck in. Just could not get it by Backstrom. Avs given all they can here in the third period. But it's still a 3-1 lead for Minnesota. 2-goal lead here in the third. Let me take a look at tonight's Timberland play of the game.
Well, it happened in the first period. Usually, Mike, the Timberland play of the game has been in the third period of the game. The Avalanche have been involved in. Well, this one came in the first period. The Avs go on an early power play. Then Clutterbuck intercepts the pass. And Cullen just picks up the cooking, as Claude Lemieux would call it, and gave the Minnesota Wild the 1-0 lead.
And Cullen out for the faceoff against Matt Duchene. The Avalanche now leading in shots, 32-26. In the second period, the Avs outshot Minnesota 14-13. The shots are continuing here in the third. Centering pass. Oh, what a brilliant save from Budaj. Fancy looking play from Minnesota. A little sparkle to it. But then Budaj had to come up big, and he did. The Avalanche can get anything going. They can look back at now 2 saves. The first one on Brodziak. And then that last one that Budaj just made, it give the Avalanche a chance to stay in this game. A loose puck at the side of the net. Taken by Burns. Shot around. Got it out of the zone. 8 minutes remaining. Kovacic. Rister. Deflected by O'Byrne. Out of play.
Well, for Minnesota, this is 27th shot on net. The Avalanche have 33. But Minnesota is very comfortable in this situation, Mike. They've only outshot the opposition twice this season. 2 times out of 32 games they've outshot the opposition. One of them was in Finland. They started the season in Finland, so only in North America here, Mike, only once.
8 minutes to go. Avalanche deciding who should be out on the ice. They go with O'Reilly for this face-off, and Minnesota wins the draw on a bounce. Havlet had it for a moment. O'Reilly stripped into the puck. Get out to center ice. Stoner steps up to the red line, trying to drill it in, but O'Byrne got in the way. For the Avs, dropped it back behind his own net. That's up the near side. Up ice for O'Reilly. Right at the Avalanche blue line, cut off. Going off the boards. Havlet coming back. Going to push it out. Sent off the board for the penalty boxes for Bouchard. Nice pass on the line. Havlet in. Shot blocked by Foot. And then he gave Havlet a little trip as he went by. And you know he's saying something as he moved up the ice. Off the near side boards for O'Reilly into the Minnesota zone. Tough angle. Great shot. Chance for Foot. Went off the heel and a stick. Yep. That's behind for Winnick. Turn up the boards. Cleared out. It's a race and a chance for a breakaway, but Budaj comes out and meets the puck and clears it away. Budaj continuing to play well here since coming in for Anderson early in the second period. And Foot drops it off for Hunley. Under 7 minutes remaining. Center ice, brought in. Shot, deflected. Lifted up. And Walker Jones. Brings the puck back into the Minnesota zone. And Jones chasing the defenseman. Played by Burns. Oh, Lyles played it perfectly. Send it around. Shattenkirk trying to keep it alive. Again, we see Lyles, Shattenkirk out there as a defensive pair. Stastny will go back and get to the puck.
Minnesota's done just a terrific job tonight when they do get the puck, getting it out of the zone. The Avalanche have not been able to hold them up.
Steele, drop, shot, set, rebound, missed, centered out in the slot. Back to the far side. Well, I'll tell you what, Minnesota's had a few chances, Peter, here to put this game away, and they haven't done it in the third period.
And there's lots of time left in this hockey game.
Yeah, right there. That was a great chance there for Minnesota just to put that nail in the coffin. They didn't do it. And the Avalanche averaging just under 4 goals a game at home this season. 5.5 minutes to try and do something. Brunette steals the puck, carries in. Brunette walks right in. The pass missed again by Minnesota. There's another chance to seal it. They didn't get it. It is still 3-1. A race back to the Avalanche line. Zidlicki didn't get it out. Duchesne held it in. Pass across. Picked up. Brunette to center. To the red line. Over to the corner. Hunwick. After the puck. Dropped it behind him for foot. And off to Dupuis. He's got some room to skate. Lobs the puck to the corner. He'll go get it himself behind the net. Avalanche have got it. Stolen away by Minnesota. Pass up ice. Here comes Cal Clutterbuck. Cutting in. He shoots. And the glove saved by Budaj. Nowhere to go. And he'll hold the puck for a face-off. 4:45 to go in the third. 3-1 for Minnesota.
Well, they have down 3-1 in this third period. They need to get something going. You see the defenseman Adam Foote right there, right in the right spot, Mike, and just can't put it home. And then Minnesota, as you would expect, getting some chances with the Avalanche defenseman pinching down low, taking a little, offensive chance. There are going to be chances at the other end, and that's when Budaj's been at his best.
After the face-off, the puck to the near side, to the side of the net. Sullivan comes up with the puck. His way towards the corner. First it behind the net for Cullen. Versus again, trying to get away from Stastny. Still with the puck, Cullen. Getting threw it back behind the net, and Stastny was waiting for it. There's the pass up ice for Porter. Getting into the Minnesota zone. Holds up, waits. Goes down to the ice. Burns trying to clear. A little help. Pushed off the boards by O'Sullivan. The Avalanche line.
Great example of what Burns brings defensively to Minnesota right there. Porter can fly. He just stayed with him the whole way.
Knocked behind the net. Avalanche still with it. Stastny threw it out in front. Bang behind the net. Porter centers. Shot wide. You see Wilson, another Avalanche defenseman, getting in deep, getting involved. Stastny circles on the center. Jones for the Avalanche. Works his way free. He shoots off the chest of Backstrom. The puck is lifted down the ice. It'll take a hop and not enough momentum to get an icing call. 3:30 left. Off the boards for Jones. Assuming Winnick has the puck. Up ice for Duchesne. Off the boards, Fleischman bangs it in. Duchesne using his speed to get the puck. Put it behind the net. Winnick up the boards. Minnesota has possession. Didn't get it out. Avalanche kept it in. Duchesne coming out of the corner. Behind the net. It's cut off by the Wild. Defenseman Zidlicki. Squirted it free. Send it to the far side. Pass up the middle for Clutterbuck. Hunwick back defending for the Avalanche. Holds off Clutterbuck. Well, that was Budaj to bat the puck over towards Brandon Yip. Skate behind the Avs net. Duchesne, a rink-wide pass with Foote. Checked. Bouchard walks right in. He shoots the save again by Budaj. Hunwick. Going to move out to center ice. Does. Duchesne slides past, dumps the puck in. He's going off on a change. Stoner takes the handoff. Pass off the boards. Out to center ice. 2-on-1 for Minnesota. Bouchard, big drive, and another nice save from Peter Budaj. The Avalanche win tonight. You can stop by your Denver area Subway restaurant tomorrow and get a 6-inch cold cut combo or a meatball marinara for only $2.
So the Avalanche right now, Mike, down to 2:19, down by 2. How much longer will it be before they pull Peter Budaj if they get the puck and they're moving it up the ice?
Let's see, a timeout has been used.
The last game against the Avalanche, it was Dustin Brown who had a couple of goals tonight. Matt Cullen, one coming shorthanded for just a beautiful play. And then just good hard work, getting knocked down, banged around in front of the net, pops that one home. That would stand to be the game winner in tonight's game if Minnesota goes on to win this game, Mike.
Well, for the Avalanche, they've got to get out of the situation where they are the highest scoring team in the league, Peter, but unless they get to 3 goals, they're not winning games. They are 0-9-2 when they score 2 or less. Right now, they're sitting at 1. They'll need to get to 3, try to force this game.
And you wonder why coaches take nothing for granted. The Avalanche came in the last game at home, the highest scoring club at home, the only club in the league averaging more than 4 goals at home in the league this year. And now they have 1 power play goal in the 2 games to show for it.
Behind the net. The net breaks free. Centers out into the slots. Bouncing back towards the point. Burns shooting around. The net looking along the end boards of the puck. Move it over towards Koivu. 2 minutes to go. Back in the corner for Brunette. All this work along the end boards, just eating up time. Kovacic up the boards, back to the point. Bounced out to center ice. Fleischman chasing the puck. Chopped at by Burns. Flipped it. Didn't get it out initially. The Avalanche have it stashed. He walks in, backhander, save made by Backstrom. Budaj has gone to the bench. Extra skater on for the Avalanche. Put up off the boards. Kept in. Shattenkirk down the far side. Behind the net for Stastny. Centered in front. Saved by Backstrom. Laid off the boards and into the neutral zone. 80 seconds left to go in the 3rd period. That's up ice for Lyles. They have to take Budaj out. The extra skater. Fleischman. The neutral zone lost it. Koivu missed. But he was past the red line, so no icing. We're down to the last minute of play. Lyles makes the pass towards Winnick. Checks. Backhand off the boards. Minnesota clogged things up in the neutral zone. Goes back the other way. On a hot 45 seconds to go. Shattenkirk will pick up. Makes the pass. O'Reilly moves the puck in to the corner. Gets it back up the boards. Flipped it out to center. Puck is rolling with 30 seconds to go. It's cut off in the circle by Wilson of the Avs. Shoots it down the ice. Maybe icing on Colorado. So with 22 seconds to go, Budaj is going to have to come back out on the ice with a face-off in the Avalanche zone.
So for Peter Budaj, who came in relief early in the 2nd period of Craig Anderson, he has done a terrific job here tonight. The Avalanche, Mike, right now, they're going to need a Christmas miracle. 22.3. Everybody's just going to have to be driving towards the other end.
Peter, the Avalanche don't get that Christmas miracle. They're going to go to 2-5-1 against Northwest Division teams this year. They got some division games coming up. Trip to Calgary and Edmonton next week. Vancouver's coming to town a week from Sunday. For the Minnesota Wild, they get a little revenge after that last game. This one is over. The Minnesota Wild have evened up the season series. Nicholas Backstrom, after Jones scored, Peter, in that 1st period, to shut the door on the Avalanche. Peter Budaj came in. Good effort tonight from him, but a loss for the Avs.
And the Avalanche had a lot of pressure in the 3rd period, but again, you're down by a couple of goals. The goaltender gets hot at the other end, and as we said, you go Price, you go Quick, you go Backstrom. You have to score when you get those opportunities, and those goaltenders didn't allow that to happen.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's score. Molson 3 stars of the game. And here's your selections, Peter.
Well, Cullen got the game-winning goal, and you could have flip-flopped Backstrom and Cullen, no question about it. But Cullen had a couple goals, game winners, one shorthanded. Backstrom finished up with 36 and 63, 36 saves in this game. And David Jones, I thought, was outstanding for the Avalanche. He was moving. He had the one goal for the Avalanche, but he was putting the puck on net and using his speed very well in tonight's game.
Well, the play of Cullen and Backstrom certainly helped the Minnesota Wild to a 3-1 win over the Avalanche. We'll see you again on Monday when the Avs host the Detroit Red Wings. Now, back to the Go Toyota Locker Room Report.